Hey, it's Magical MiMi, and guess what? It's time for another installment of Didn't Magical MiMi say that? Well, actually, it was JFK when I channeled him, but it came through me, so it counts. But if you recall, and maybe you're seeing me now for the first time, I don't know. But I channeled JFK and asked him on Friday if what my ancestral spirit guides, Grammy and Grandpa George, said on Thursday was still true. That there was a 100% chance that the U.S. would strike Iran. And he said it was still 100%. The chance for a third WW had lowered at that point. And I said, but if we strike Iran, they're going to respond, right? He said yes. And I said, okay. So then what could prevent a third WW? And he said that Orange Man would manage to pull out some like ceasefire, like deal thing. And like the way he said it was like very like sarcastic, like this is just for show, it's a distraction, and very much is a distraction. And we've all felt that it was a distraction for sure. And then Orange Guy decided to announce that there was a ceasefire now, and he brokered it between, the two I countries, right? He did it. But I want to just take a moment and recognize, for anyone that's forgot, those of you that follow me, I love my history and I love my politics, and I have a wealth of knowledge on all of that. And if you're seeing me for the first time, well, now you're going to learn. But President Obama signed the nuclear proliferation deal with Iran. So the Iran nuclear deal that prevented them from developing a nuclear weapon. Okay. And then in 2018, during Orange Guy's first term, he ripped that up. Which then paved the way for when the cold country invaded the blue and yellow team in Europe so they could get some WAR type inventory from Iran. So all of this, including the cold country invading the U country, the blue and yellow team, all of it is good old Donnie Boy's fault. And we should never forget that. And all of this is a show. It's pretend. He knows he's not popular, but it's not going to work. And his base is still not going to forgive him. All this did was fracture the support he had, the little support he had left. And now there are people like Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene that are making sense all of a sudden. Like, I don't like that, but at least they're right on this. And yes, it's because they're an agent of the cold country. JFK confirmed that as well. And if you don't believe me, I have a video on it as well. You can find it on my page. I implore you to go watch it. It's in the same video, actually, where JFK said that Trump would manage some deal between the blue and white team and Iran. He said he'd do it. Right? And so this is where we are. But this is not a win for him. It's all pretend. It's fake. It's a distraction. And thank God and Goddess that it didn't end up being a full-fledged WAR. Thank God. Because we don't need that. But what it did achieve is him losing more power, which when my guides and even JFK, during the channeling I did with him, I did a channeling with him, which I'll tell you about that in a moment. But at the end, I asked him about the orange guy, and he basically said there would be like a death card situation in June for him. All of June, especially leading up to before his parade, the turnout for the No Kings protest was the largest protest in American history. Yeah, that's a metaphorical death card. Absolutely. And by him striking Iran because he sided with the blue and white team, that has hurt him even more to people that support him. And he did this without congressional approval. There was no legitimate reason to do it. And before anybody brings up Obama in Syria in Libya, it's not the same thing at all. Like, what orange guy did to Iran is not at all equivalent to what Obama did. I don't think what Obama did was okay. I never agreed with that. I voted for him. I liked him as a president. I think he did a really great job, but that's the one thing that I disagree on. I don't agree with any of that at all. But it's also just not the same thing. So don't go there. It's not the same thing. Now, I want to tell you real quick about the channeling I did with JFK. He came to me and indicated that he wanted to share the truth about why we lost him through me. So I did a channeling on May 31st. That channeling is recorded and available for purchase. You can go through the link in my bio and scroll down towards the bottom. You'll see a section on my link tree for live recordings, and you'll see that there's a picture of JFK, and that's the one that you'll want to click on. And you can find out the truth about why we lost him and everybody that's involved, and how the cold country and the blue and white team is involved in it. So literally everything we're dealing with right now is tied to why we lost him. So if you're interested, go purchase access to that recording. It is profound, and I'm certain it will resonate with you. I did a lot of research to be able to ask appropriate questions to get as much information uncovered as possible. And JFK said that I did a good job. So, also of note, in episode 9 of the Divinity Chronicles podcast that I do with my twin sister, the Divine Chrysanthemuma, we also said that Orange Guy would end up doing something that would cost him support from those that still support him, and that it would be pretty major, and a lot of people would have a big problem with it. So yeah, if you're not following the podcast, you might want to do that, because there's a lot of truth in there and a lot of prophesizing, apparently. That's what's happening. We chronicle his past lives and how all of that is playing out now. So you might want to check it out. You can also find that through the link in my bio. But again, my guides and JFK, one of the spirits that I channel that's not one of my guides, right again. And perhaps everything else that they've said that we've not seen play out still will play out, or perhaps it has, and it's just symbolic or metaphorical, and we need to be open to those possibilities. Well, if you made it to the end of the video, you can comment about how beautiful Munchie Aura is. He's one of my new kittens. And so we say peace be with you, and keep holding the light,